Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jeff Stanislow, and you're listening to your favorite golf show, Let's Go Low, here on the Big 8 AM 820. Happy Saturday morning to you. Hopefully, you got a tee time about 10 o'clock, and so you can get over there after you're done listening to our show. Anyways, today's episode is brought to you by Back Nine Golf, Carrollwood, and AMAC, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens, amac.us. We are pleased to have Josh Fromm on today. Josh is the founder and president of Teetender, and Josh has a pretty cool story to tell about his business and what he's bringing to market. So, Josh, why don't you just tell us about starting up the company, how it evolved, and then we'll dive into really what it does and some of the solutions it provides for golfers. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Jeff. So a little bit more about Teetender Golf. We were founded almost 3.5, 4 years ago at this time. I had been somewhat in the golf industry trying to get an app to market that connected instructors and students virtually. Didn't get it to market, but made a lot of connections in the space. Long story short, avid golfer myself. My grandpa's very close friend actually had the original teeing device that he founded from Teetender 20 plus years ago, which was created by milled metal. It was a prototype. They dumped over $100,000 into it. And at the time, his two friends that he was coming to market with the product passed away of old age, and he put the device away. So a few years ago, when my grandpa connected with him, he said, "Hey, my grandson, is kind of in the golf industry. Like, I think it would make sense for you guys to talk." Long story short, Stan is his name. We connected, and we got very close over the last few years. I took his device, created a team around me. We have an investor, we have an engineer, we have a go-to-market person, and Stan really helped advise on the business. We re-engineered the original prototype for go-to-market, got
Right.
2 patents on the product, and ultimately, we launched in June of last year in 2025.
Fantastic. You're listening to Jake Fromm and Josh Fromm. Josh is the founder of Teetender. Talking the backstory about his business. This is a 20-year-old device, and basically it was put on the shelf. And sometimes some great ideas get put on the shelf and then get remarketed. And Stan is my nickname, so I like this guy already. So it's a great story. You're listening to Let's Go Low here. This is Jeff Stanislow from Golfers Unite. This episode is brought to you by amac.us and Carrollwood Back Nine. That's Back Nine at Carrollwood. Josh, it took a long time to bring this product to market. I understand in a previous conversation that we had that the first prototype was like 20 or 25 pounds. Why don't you just tell us about the evolution of like the product and the trials and tribulations? I'd imagine that's a great story in itself to take a 20-pound product and bring it to what it is today, which is like less than 2 pounds, right?
Yeah. Well, technology has changed a lot over the years. And actually, our engineer on our team has an amazing 3D printer at his house. And so he was able to take the original unit and engineer it and streamline it to create less parts that need to be manufactured, but also improving on functionality, right? So when you have a teeing device, what's really important is not only can it tee up a ball, but you also need to have a stand to keep it upright, because you don't want to bend down and pick up. That would defeat the purpose. As well as you need to be able to pick up the ball and pick up the tee. So the process probably took us 3 to 4 months, mastering it from start to finish with hundreds of different prints and different trials, right? We have to account for different types of tees, figure out which one works the best. We have to account for how hard the ground is. right? When you're putting the tee into the ground, and additionally, ease of use. So with all those things, I mean, we probably went through hundreds of different trials to get to where we were at today. And long story short, we actually launched a small batch in December of 2024 with regular standard tees. And the general feedback on the market was, hey, this is great. It works really well. But everyone uses a martini tee, which are wider plastic tees. So all the adaptive players, all of the senior players who are primarily our market use these martini tees. So we went back to the drawing boards after our market feedback and relaunched in June for our mass launch. And the feedback has been great ever since.
That's fantastic. We're talking with Josh Fromm, and Josh is the founder and president of Teetender, a really cool product. And we're going to let Josh take the floor here for a minute on, like, what the product is and how it is. You're listening to Jeff Stanislaw on the Let's Go Low show, brought to you by Golfers Unite. And if you want to catch this episode, we'll post it up on our website, golfersunite.com. Just click on the blogs, and we have all our episodes here from the radio show on AM 820. Josh, so I mean, it's the radio, and usually a pictures are worth 1,000 words, but we're not going to be able to do that. So for our audience, I guess I was impressed with the product. I think it serves a great purpose. It's a niche product, but for our audience, what's the best way to describe the Teetender, and then also include how they find it if someone is interested in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Teetender, when we were designing it, we wanted it to look like a golf club. We thought that was really important. In the market, people love good-looking products in their bag. Me, myself, as a golfer, I love good products, and I'll spend some money on good products. But we'll start from the top of Teetender and work its way down. So the top has a button on top of the grip, which is a real golf grip. When you push that down, that opens up the claws. So that releases the ball and the tee from the ground that you lift away, and you're good to go. We also have a button on top that locks the claws. So if the ground is really hard and you're pushing it into the ground, it'll lock the claws together so it won't spread apart, and you can really push it harder into the ground. The actual length of the Teetender is created by a true real golf shaft, right? This looks and feels exactly like your golf clubs, which is what we wanted. And then really we have a stand that pops out. It's very easy. It's like a tripod stand, which is pretty nice. Additionally, at the bottom of Teetender, we have two claws that open up. Again, you're able to slide in a ball, slide in a martini tee, and you're off to the races with Teetender. Teetender is available right now on our website at www.teetendergolf.com. We also are available on Amazon and on Etsy.
Available on Amazon and Etsy too?
Yep.
One more time on that URL for our audience.
Yep. www.teetendergolf.com.
Okay.
And then we'll also, if you search Teetender Golf on Amazon or Etsy, we will also pop up. We also are available on Rock Bottom Golf as well.
On Rock Bottom Golf. Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
So you kind of went through the edifications of design, the trials and tribulations. You got your beta testers out there. You got feedback. You made improvements. And let's talk a little bit about the marketing strategy moving forward. So this is Josh Fromm, and Josh is the founder and president of Teetender. And this episode of Let's Go Low is brought to you by Golfers Unite, amac.us, and the Back Nine Carrollwood. So Josh, where do you go from here? You kind of launched not quite a year ago, going into kind of year two. You have a website. Let's talk a little bit about sales. Let's talk a little bit about partnerships and maybe some of your social media efforts.
Yeah, I think we can start on social media. So we've, luckily enough for us, every single video that we post gets a lot of views. We've gone viral. We probably have over 10 million views across all of our channels on Facebook, Instagram. We started posting on TikTok as well. I live up in New York, so it's been a bit challenge for me to get content over the last few months, but with golf season starting up again and working with a lot of our partners, the content's going to start flowing in again. So really excited to kick those things off. In terms of partnerships, we work with a bunch of adaptive organizations currently right now. We're in the process of talking with multiple military organizations, looking to partner with anyone related to that adaptive and senior golf reach right now. Internationally, we're actually launching in Japan in a few months to do a trial over there to see how Teetender does. But there's been a lot of interest so far, which has been pretty cool. And then after that, our plan is, to really get in as many golf clubs as possible, right, into pro shops and whatnot. Additionally, in terms of like retail, from the retail outlet side, we are working on, getting into some of those larger stores here and expanding our reach.
That's fantastic. This is Josh Fromm, founder and president of Teetender, talking about his product, which is pretty cool. Basically, it is it's kind of a golf club like mechanism that can grab a golf ball and a tee and put it into the ground for those with disabilities that need assistance. We kind of look at golf, people swinging a golf club, and people kind of associate like, well, why would someone need this Teetender if they can swing the golf club itself? Why do they need something with the golf ball? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the difference between like making a swing and then like bending over and put it in the tee? And also, I think you guys have another audience, right? Professionals or people maybe even on Sims that have to grab the golf ball a lot, that are, playing 36 holes on their, social media lives and what have you. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So in terms of the simulators, so Teetender works really well teeing it into the ground. If you do have a stationary tee, Teetender likely actually won't work for that right now from an indoor standpoint. So we are doing a lot of testing with a lot of the new technology of the mats that are coming out that are much better on your wrist that a lot of these facilities have, where you can just pick up a ball, push it in the ground, and tee it up, right? Additionally, we're working on
But Josh, if you're a person that plays a lot of sim golf, it can pick up the ball for you too, right? Save your back.
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily have to embed it on the tee, but you hit a 7-iron and it goes into the screen, and then you got to go get the ball or get another ball, and then you got to put it down or pick it up and what have you. So the Teetender can help you with that too, right?
Yeah, Teetender retrieves the ball incredibly. It's a really good ball retriever, and of course, because it has its length, you can use it to pick up balls all over the course as well.
Very good. I like that. So tell us a little bit more about the target audience, and the difference between, like we were talking a little bit about taking a swing and then picking up the ball.
Yeah. So I'll talk more about the swing aspect, right? So you have a lot of senior golfers, adaptive golfers, and even just normal golfers who have bad backs. Bending down to put a ball on a tee is one of the hardest things you can do in golf, because it does, requires that back movement, right? And it requires you to have the mobility to do that. Many people can swing a club. My grandpa being one of them, he's played into his 90s. And Stan as well. So Stan founded this because he had back problems. He wasn't able to tee up the ball, but he could swing a club. So he said, how do I solve this problem? And we talk to so many golfers out there that are having these issues. I mean, people message us every single day saying, hey, like, this has changed my life. I'm now able to go out and play, 9 holes without having someone with me teeing up the ball. So it's giving them, the ability to go out, play on their own, without needing the help of others. And, it makes people want to get out there and play more golf, which is our goal, obviously, as well.
Fantastic. Joshua, enjoyed your time today. Thanks for bringing Teetender to market, and we appreciate it. This is another episode of Let's Go Low here with Jeff Stanislow, brought to you by Golfers Unite. This episode will be at golfersunite.com if you want to check it out later. And we appreciate your time, Josh. Until next time, have a good one.
Thanks for having us, Jeff.